All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Massa Tutorials, where mathematics literacy begins. All right, we are still on our BC 2022 solutions. That's the BC they wrote this year. That's what I'm solving in section A. We are on our last set of questions, which is 36 to 40. Right, so we have question 36. If vector A equals what 2 negative 3 and vector B equals what negative 2 what 3. It said we should find vector A plus vector B. So how can we add two vectors? How can we add two vectors? How can we add two vectors? So now let's see. So vector A plus vector B must be equal to what is vector A? 2 negative 3 plus vector B negative 2 3. So we are adding that vector A plus vector B must be equal to. Now, if you are adding, we add the x component, then we also add the y components. So we have 2 plus what? Negative 2, then negative 3 plus what? 3. So now we have vector A plus vector B equals 2 plus negative 2, which gives us what? 0. It gives us 0. Negative 3 plus 3 also gives us what? 0. So we have 0, 0, 0, 0. So vector A plus vector B equals what? 0, 0. And this 0, 0 is what? It's a 0 vector. That's the name we give to that. That's a 0 vector. It has what? No component. It has 0 component, then what? 0 what? Magnitude, right? It has 0 component, then 0 magnitude. That's a 0 vector. So that's how we add what? Vectors. We add the x component, then we also add what? The y components. All right, so 37. Solve x minus 1 equals half of what? X plus 2. That's linear equation. So x minus 1 equals half x plus 2. So we have two terms here, which is one term, then two terms, right? So our LCM will be 2. So that's the least common multiple. So we multiply it by what? The two terms given. So 2 times x minus 1 equals what? 2 times half of what? X plus 2, right? So this guy cancels that, right? So now we multiply. So I have 2 times x. I say when you meet minus drop plus, then you use the 2 to multiply out negative 1 equals, I have 1 multiplies x, 1 multiplies x, then I have plus already, so I drop that. Then 1 multiplies 2, right? So I didn't say that when you meet plus, drop negative. No. When you meet minus, drop plus, because minus is very, very dangerous. So use plus to compensate that, right? So you drop plus so that you multiply 2 by what? The negative 1. Then here you drop plus so that you multiply 1 by what? 2. So 2 times x, you get 2x. Then plus 2 times negative 1, you get negative 2 equals 1 times x, which is what? X. Then plus 1 times 2, which is 2. So now I have mine twice of x minus 2 equals x plus what? 2. We want the value of x here, right? So linear equation, the left hand side must be equal to the right hand side. So we group like things. So twice of x. Now this one is positive when it crosses, we get negative x equals now positive 2, then plus 2, right? So twice of x, then we subtract what? X from that, we get x, which must be equal to 2 plus 2, which is 4. So I have this. So therefore, the value of x is 4. The value of x is 4. So which is option D. Option D. So now let's see this question. That's a rigid motion as transformation and coordinates. The point S43 is reflected in the y-axis. Find the coordinates of the image of that point S43. So the point S, 4, 3, is reflected, that's reflection, right, in the y-axis. So our line of reflection or our mirror line is the y-axis. So find the coordinates of the image of gas. So we can draw our Cartesian plane. So y negative y, I have my origin, x negative x is not drawn to scale. So now point S 4, 3. So now they are saying that y-axis, right? Y-axis. So y-axis. Y-axis is the same thing as what? The line x equals what? 0. Then x-axis is the same thing as what? The line y equals 0. So don't forget, the y-axis is the same thing as what? The line x equals 0. Then the x-axis is the same thing as what? The line y equals 0. So 4, 3. So let's see. X is 4, y is 3. X is 4, y is 3 here. So we can locate points S4, 3 here. It's not drawn to scale, so point S4, 3. So we are reflecting that there. We are reflecting that there. So now, since I don't have the lines here, the grid lines here, let's use our formula. Or if you want to use the graph, you have to note that the distance from the point to the mirror line is the same distance from the what? From the mirror line to the what? Image. Again, the distance or the perpendicular distance or the length or the modulus or the magnitude from the mirror line to the point or the object is the same distance from the mirror line to the what? Image. So we have our formula, which is what? Negative x, then what? Positive y for that matter. Negative x, then positive y. So which is xy must to what? Negative x y. Negative xy. Since it is reflected on the what? Y-axis. If the point is here, it comes there. Right. So I have xy is 4, 3, mass onto x is negative, so negative 4, then y still what? Maintain. So I have my S image, right? Which is what? Negative 4, 3. So this one is the image of S. So S image equals what? Negative 4, 3. That's S image, negative 4, 3. So negative 4, 3, which is option C. Option C. So question 39. Solve 5x minus 7, x minus 3. So how best can we solve that? Less than or equal to 9. So the left hand side must be less than or equal to 9, which means that we have range. You can get negative 1, which must be less than or equal to 9. Or you can get 9, which must be less than or equal to 9. 9 is equal to 9 because of this guy. So you can get the answer being equal to 9 for the left hand side. But if you get something 10 less than or equal to 9, this one is tautology. We don't understand. The left hand side must be what? Less than, or it must be the same thing as what? 9. This is how it means. This one is a linear inequality. Linear inequality. So it's a mathematical statement which involves either less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And the highest power of the variable inside must be what? 1. The highest power of this variable, it must be 1. Or the highest exponent, index, superscript, must be what? 1. So now, let's proceed and see how best can we solve that. So I have 5x minus 7, x minus 3, less than or equal to 9. Now, don't start by saying that okay, 5x minus, some students, you just proceed and say that okay, is that, then you start solving. It's wrong. It's wrong. You just remove the brackets and solve. No, don't forget that this negative here is 1, right? Which is negative 1. it is affecting the whole of the expression inside the bracket. The whole of the expression inside the bracket, it is affecting that. So now, when I'm solving this question, because here is negative, I take note, then drop what? Plus. So I use that to multiply because I'm afraid of negative. So I get negative 1 times 7x. Then here is negative. I drop plus. Then I use the whole of negative 1 to multiply with negative 3. Then my less than or equal to 9. So I have my 5x plus this guy, get negative 7x. Because negative 1 times positive 7 is negative 7, right? Then my x. Then plus negative times negative positive. So 1 times 3 is what? 3. Less than or equal to 9. So now we have 5x. So we can say that minus 7x, then plus 3 less than or equal to 9, right? We can group like terms. 5x minus 7x, which becomes what? Negative 2x, right? Negative 2x. Then group less than or equal to 9 minus 3. So negative 2x less than or equal to, we get 6, right? So now we divide both sides by what? Negative 2. Now we are dealing with inequality. If we divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is a negative value, the sign must change. The sign must change. It's compulsory. It must change. So now the coefficient of x is negative, a negative number. So I'm dividing through by that. So the sign has to change to what? Greater than or equal to. So 6 negative 2. So I get x greater than or equal to negative 3. Negative 3. So now they've given us what? Our range, which is x is greater than or equal to negative 3. This x is greater than or equal to negative 3. So you can put negative 3 inside. It must be less than or equal to 9. You can put negative 2 because it's going like this. It is moving like that. Right. It is moving like that to the right hand side. So negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1. So it is moving like that. Right. So take note of that. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. So you can start from what? You can start from negative 3. Right. Then negative 2, not negative 4. Because negative 3 is greater than negative 4. So now, this is how to present your work. So now we have our option to do it. X is greater than or equal to negative 3, which is option A. Option A. Students normally forget this guy, which is very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. You don't forget. Immediately you see that the coefficient of x is negative and you are using that to divide, make sure that the sign what? Changes. The sign changes. If it is less than, it changes to greater than. If it is less than or equal to, it changes to greater than or equal to. All right. All right. So now, this is our last question. Most of the students had this question wrong. It is very, very serious. Which of the following is the largest set? The largest. A. Natural numbers. B. Composite numbers. C. Integers. D. Whole numbers. The answer is integers. Why? We have to explain. Let's see natural numbers. The symbol is N. Right. Natural numbers, we are dealing with what? Counting numbers. It's the same thing as counting numbers. So we start from what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are a set of natural numbers up to infinity. Right. Now, composite numbers. Composite numbers. So let's use C to represent the set of composite numbers. We know that composite numbers, they are numbers that has what? They have more than 2 factors. So we start from 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, then it moves to infinity. Right. So these are the set of composite numbers. 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, right? the set of natural numbers. Now, the set of integers, which is z. Set of integers, they are what? Negative and positive natural numbers, including zero. They are negative and positive natural numbers, including zero. So I can start from negative, let's see, start from negative infinity. So there are more elements here. There are more elements inside. So let's say negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It continues. Now, whole numbers. Let's use W to represent that. Whole numbers start from what? 0, 1, 2. So they are counting numbers including what? 0. That's whole numbers. Then it continues. So if you check this, look at all the sets here. Which of these is the largest? Which is what? Integers. Very, very, very important. Integers. Integers, they are what? The largest what? Set. This is the largest set, the greatest set here. Now, we can say that composite numbers is a subset of what? Natural numbers, and also a subset of what? Whole numbers, and also a subset of what? Integers. Why am I saying this? 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, all these things can be found in what? Integers. You can find what? 4 here, 6 here, 8 inside, 9 inside, inside. All these things. This is the senior man, the superset. It contains every other element here, apart from rational numbers. So if they add rational numbers here, then rational numbers will be what? The bigger set here, or the largest set. Because rational numbers will include all these things, right? It will include 1 over 2, then that. But integers, it includes what? Positive and negative natural numbers, including this guy, 0. So composite numbers is a subset of what? Natural numbers, and also a subset of what? Integers, and also a subset of what? Whole numbers. Now, natural numbers is a subset of what? Whole numbers. Because I said what? Whole numbers are what? Counting numbers, including what? 0. Then you can see that natural numbers is contained in these whole numbers. Whole numbers start from 0, but natural numbers start from 1. So you can see that natural numbers is inside, is contained inside with whole numbers. Then now, let's see for whole numbers. Whole numbers is a subset of what? Integers. Natural numbers is also a subset of integers. You can see it starts from 1. Integers. It has that already. So now, don't tell me that the largest set is natural numbers. It's wrong. It's wrong. You have to do analysis before you choose the right answer. So the answer is what? Integers. 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 Very, very important. So the answer is what? Integers. So integers consist of what? Negative and positive natural numbers, including 0. Including 0. So all these natural numbers, whole numbers, composite numbers, they are all subsets of what? Integers. So integers is their what? Mother set. Mother set. And all these guys are what? Subsets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So the answer is what? Option C. Option C. So option C. All right. Thank you very much for following me towards the end of this tutorial section, which is section ABC 2022 solutions. Our next thing we'll do is to solve WASI section A questions. So follow me gradually as we solve the WASI 2022 section A questions, right? And of deck this year too, there are questions. All right, so you don't worry, just sit down and learn. Everything will be all right. Thank you, then thank you for watching and subscribing, sharing, and what? Liking, right? Thank you. I appreciate. May God richly bless you. See you on our next